And never feel sorry for yourself. I don't. I only feel sorry for that 37-year-old man.
Developed by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. For help quitting, call 866-QUIT-YES or visit quityes.org.
Support comes from WorkCare, providing pre-employment physicals, drug testing services, injury management, OSHA exams, wellness and prevention service. Learn more at workcarereadywell.com.
Good Monday morning to you. The time now is 10 a.m. We hope you're having a wonderful start to your work week, and hopefully you have your umbrella handy because there is a chance of rain. And you're listening to Talk of the Town on WDBX FM Carbondale. I am your host, Amy Fox, and I have two very special guests in studio this morning, and I was joking earlier, I'm going to try not to butcher their names, but if I do mess up, they're going to correct me. So I'm joined in studio this morning by Mayowa Ola Oya, President of the International Student Council, and Yuki Soyajima, Vice President of the International Student Council, both at Southern Illinois University, Carbondale. And we are so glad you are here. And it's hard to believe, but we are talking about the International Festival coming up next week, February 4th through the 8th. And you guys really have a lot of stuff going on, but I think before we get started on the schedule of events, it's always important to talk about how this event got started on campus.
Yeah, thank you, Amy. You see, about 57 years ago, international students at SIU wanted a chance to bring their cultures to Carbondale. So SIU and Carbondale has always been so gracious in sharing American culture with us. So the International Festival is our turn to reverse the roles.
And this is something that was started by the International Student Council. And if someone isn't familiar with the International Student Council, what is this group all about?
International Student Council is the largest, diverse RSO on campus, and it helps us to actually, showcase our culture to SIU and Carbondale community.
And how has this festival evolved over the years? Because it does have a long-standing history here in Carbondale.
Oh, yes, it does. You see, actually, each year, the number of participants for the festival has increased significantly, and more countries are getting involved every year, and which is the beauty of diversity, And also, we see the community as a whole getting more engaged with the festival, and people are wanting to help, with this event succeed in any way they can. We just love how many people look forward to these annual events every year, which is so much fun.
And there are a lot of people involved. How many countries do you have represented?
Currently, we have 10 countries.
Wow, 10 countries.
Yeah.
And which countries do you both represent?
I represent Nigeria.
And I represent Japan.
Wow. And I'm sure that it's really fun to, introduce your countries and get to share a little bit, a part of your heritage to the community.
Absolutely.
And what kinds of things will you have going on at this year's festival? I know there's always a theme. What's this year's theme?
Yep, so this year's theme is Shaping International Unity with the acronym of SIU. Shaping International Unity represents the strength of our community. For some of our students who's never able to interact with the international students, this event is their chance to bridge that cultural gap.
And how did you guys come up with this theme? There's probably a lot of things talked about, so.
Yes, actually, we have 5 board members. We all came up with a theme, actually, and we all voted on it with the board, and we ended up with this one.
And this is a whole week-long celebration. What activities specifically do you have going on?
Yep, so we have 3 events going on next week, starting on Monday, February 4th. The festival kicks off with the Parade of Flags, and following will be the proclamation and the welcoming event. The second event will be the food fair, everyone's favorite event. because there's no better way to bring people together. And Friday, February 8th, we have the cultural show where students from various countries showcase their talents.
And in terms of all of these events, do you need tickets to go to them? Do they cost? Are they free?
Yeah, the food fair, we will be selling tickets Monday and Tuesday of the event, and one ticket will be $1. And the food will vary from 2 to 3 tickets, and we will also have course meals, so it will be an appetizer, a main, and a dessert for maybe $5 or $6.
And that's held in the Student Center ballroom?
Yes, correct.
And just a piece of advice, I went to that for the first time last year, and I got there towards the later end, and I wish I would have showed up early. So there's lots of good food, lots of things to pick from, but definitely a well-attended event, so get there early. And tell me a little bit more about the cultural show. What can we expect for that?
The cultural show will have 10 countries representing. It's a lot like a talent show. They'll be showcasing their culture through dances, singing, playing instruments, and whatever they'd like to do to represent their country.
And the flags, that's a really neat start to the event, to the week, to see all of these flags from all of these different countries represented here in Carbondale, Illinois at Southern Illinois University. It's an amazing event.
It is.
Yes.
And how will people see the theme incorporated into this year's festival?
Yeah, so Shaping International Unity shows the strength of our SIU community. And we kind of came up with this theme with today's political climate and to make international students feel a part of the campus.
And who is this event geared towards? I know a lot of times people think, oh, this is a campus event, it's only open to students, but I think it's important to stress that this is a community event. You do want people here from Carbondale, but all of Southern Illinois.
Absolutely, Amy, you're right. You see, this is truly a week of events that is for just everybody, not just the international student or community alone. This is our opportunity to showcase the wealth of international diversity that we have on this campus and in Carbondale community. So actually, we want our undergraduate students, we want the grad students, we want everyone to be excited and attend, these events, as well as the faculty members, the staffs, high school community members, and all everyone in Carbondale.
And you do put a lot of time and effort into planning for this event. When does that planning really begin to take shape, or when do you start meeting?
Yeah, we have our planning committee, started by far back in September,
Wow.
Last year, yeah.
So lots of things still to come, I'm sure, as far as dotting those I's and crossing those T's. But why is an event like this so important, not only to SIU and Carbondale, but the community as an entire whole?
You see, this event is so important to us, because this is the only chance we get to thank the community in Carbondale for welcoming people from all around the world.
And what do you hope the reaction is from everyone, whether they've attended this event every year or maybe this is their first time at the event?
Yeah, we hope this event allows people in the community to think about our international students, especially now when they may need our support the most, that a lot of the students are far away from their families and homes. And we also want people to talk about this event to hopefully bring in new audiences and bring such a positive experience that they look forward to the event next year as well.
And why is this event so special to each of you?
Well, this event is special to me. Being a first-generation Japanese American, during grade school, I was kind of losing my culture, not being in Japan, never been living in Japan before. Coming to SIU and meeting fellow Japanese students, it made me really get back to my cultural roots and wanted to be more involved to showcase the beauty of Japanese culture.
For me, as a Nigerian, I see this avenue, as a chance for me to actually, showcase my culture. As a matter of fact, on the cultural night on the 8th of February, I will be on the runway because we have a fashion show. So I'll be wearing my Nigerian attire, and you should come see me, though. It's going to be so much fun. Yeah.
And that was my next question. What will we find you guys doing the week of the festival? Do you have specific roles and responsibilities?
Yeah, myself being the president, I'm in charge of everything. I oversee everything, but some of the board members are being assigned to do the food fair, the flag parade, and the cultural show.
Yep, I'll be mainly in charge of the food fair, which I'm really excited for. It takes a lot of planning, so I'm sure it will be a lot of work, but we have a lot of help from the Student Center support as well, so we're really excited for this event.
Can you give us any sneak peeks or in on any of the dishes that will be served?
Yeah, the Greek Student Council will be serving chicken gyros, which will be delicious. Their gyros were so good last year.
And the African Student Council will be making African jollof rice, which is a little bit spicy, not too spicy though. And they've been making fried plantain, and they're making what we call puff puff.
And all of those foods are homemade recipes, but you'll be preparing them at the Student Center.
Absolutely, because we have to ensure safety.
Wonderful. And if people have questions or would like to learn more about this year's events, is there a good website, a good place people can go to learn more?
Yeah, they can visit the SIU EDU website on the main page, and don't forget to follow us on International Student Council on social media to stay updated about our upcoming events as well.
And also you guys have a hashtag, so if people do come out to these events and would like to share some of those pictures, what is the hashtag that everyone needs to use?
Yep, make sure you hashtag International Festival 2019.
Yeah.
Perfect. And is there anything else that you guys would like to add? Maybe I forgot to ask you just about this year's festivities. I know early on in the interview, this is a long-standing tradition from the early years at SIU, 1970. So this is a long-standing tradition, and every year it's grown more in popularity. But if someone's just now joining us on WDBX, recap what you guys have coming up starting next Monday, February 4th.
Yeah, on the 4th of February, which is next Monday, we will have the flag of parade. We have the mayor of Carbondale, Mayor Henry, and we're going to have the chancellor also, with the parade going with us to the student center. And there we will have the proclamation, which will start the event for the week.
And the next event will be Wednesday, February 6th. The food fair will be beginning at 11 a.m. and will be ending at 1 p.m. Friday will be our final event, and that will be the cultural show in the Student Center.
And with the cultural show, we have the fashion parade. We have all sort of countries performing in their native, cultures,
And I know you put a lot of time and effort into planning all of these great events. What makes it so rewarding to each of you?
Yeah, well, this is actually my first time on the board, so it has been a bit of an experience, but I definitely learned a lot from this event planning and planning for such a large amount of people. How about you?
Yeah, for me personally, it helps me to know how to, manage people, because being the president of an RSO that has over close to 25 countries, so it is a big deal for me to learn how to manage people from all part of the world, trying to bridge the cultural divide and all that,
Great. Well, I know we covered a lot of good information, and I know you guys have busy schedules, so thank you so much for finding time to come chat about the 2019 International Festival. Really looking forward to this. Once again, going on February 4th through the 8th on the campus of Southern Illinois University. Thank you both for joining me in studio this morning.
Thank you, Amy, for the opportunity.
And we're going to take a short break and get you some announcements, and we'll be right back in just a few minutes.
Good morning. This is Alicia with the City of Carbondale, here to bring you this week's calendar of events. The John A. Logan College Highway Construction Career Training Program is now accepting applications now until February 12, 2019. The John A. Logan Highway Construction Career Training Program is a program established to help increase the number of minorities, females, and disadvantaged individuals working on IDOT highway construction projects. The course will consist of 450 hours of intensive training in both a classroom and hands-on environment, allowing students to learn the skills necessary for acceptance into various highway construction trades and the opportunity for a career with excellent wage and benefits. Successful candidates must be at least 18 years old and have a high school diploma or GED, have a valid driver's license, and consent to random drug screening. For more information, please call 618.
Good Monday morning. The time now is 10:15 a.m. We hope you are having a fabulous Monday. And we have our next guest in studio this morning. We have John Pfeiffer, and he is taking over the reins of Taste of Chocolate, a well-known Carbondale event. John, what do you guys have planned for 2019?
Well, Amy, this year is a clever theme, given the year that it is. Our theme is 20 years of chocolate because, guess what? It's the 20th year we're doing Taste of Chocolate, so it was a natural theme. It's grown a lot over the years, but one thing that is constant is people get a lot of good chocolatey goodies when they come that night.
And how did you guys come up with this event?
That's a fair question. I was on the board for about 3 or 4 years before I took over this role about a year and a half ago, so that's a question I should probably know the answer to. I think it'd be fun to make something up.
Yeah, well, I'm just assuming people love chocolate, and, what better way to raise money for a good cause than with chocolate?
Probably proximity to Valentine's Day that sort of caused the whole thing to kick off.
Right. And it is going on this coming Friday.
A week from Friday. February 8th from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Carbondale Civic Center.
And if someone has never been to this event before, what can they expect?
Well, they can expect to meet a lot of old friends that they probably haven't seen for a while and catch up. But, the doors open at 6 o'clock, and by 6:02, they're eating something that's chocolatey, whether it's Thai Taste chocolate-covered wings or stuffed mushrooms or pulled pork sandwiches with a little barbecue chocolate sauce to it. It's just all kinds of things that are chocolatey, not just desserts. We'll have a salad with a chocolate vinaigrette dressing on it as well.
You guys don't miss a punch, do you?
Not much, no. And of course, it wouldn't be a fundraiser without a silent auction, a live auction, a 50-50 raffle, and this year our live auction prizes are better than ever.
What do you guys have?
Well, if you like to eat, which you probably do because you wouldn't be coming to Taste of Chocolate if you didn't like to eat in the first place, we have, in addition to myriads of gift certificates from restaurants from the 8 counties that we serve, we have 4 really great packages. We have a tasting dinner for 6 from Rare Chop House in Mount Vernon. We've got a $400 gift card from Mary's in Heron. We've got a great dinner for 4 with appetizers, drinks, desserts, and entrees from the Newell House. And then in Marion, from the Hideout, we have dinner, drinks, desserts for 2 every month for a year.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. I didn't know we were going to talk this much about food. You're already making me hungry for lunch.
I should have brought you a donut.
Yeah. And I think it's important to talk about the cause and where all of these donations will go. They go directly back to the Women's Center, and talk about some of the services that you folks provide to not only Carbondale but surrounding Southern Illinois communities.
Yeah, one thing that I've figured out since I've been here, and I've worked in Carbondale for most of the time I've been in Southern Illinois, but we cover 8 counties, and for people in most of the 7 counties not called Jackson County, they tend to think of the Women's Center is a Carbondale or Jackson County entity. There are a lot of reasons for that, not the least of which is our shelter is located here. But we also do things or have done things over the years to sort of perpetuate that myth. We have a great board that has traditionally been made up of Jackson County people. We send fundraising requests to longtime donors who are, guess what, primarily from Jackson County. So it becomes this sort of self-fulfilling prophecy. But we also cover Union County, Perry County, Williamson, Franklin, Saline, Gallatin, and Johnson counties as well. And one thing I'm trying to focus on is to get the word out to potential donors and potential people who may need our services. So try to go out to service clubs and meet with as many people while securing our longtime donors here in Carbondale and Jackson County. Want to make sure that people outside know that we're there. If they're in a domestic relationship that's abusive, if they need to get away, if they need to talk to someone, if they've been sexually abused or sexually assaulted, we have a 24-hour hotline, and we provide these services absolutely confidentially and free of charge. Last April, I sort of hate designations like Sexual Assault Awareness Month or Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Like the other 11 months out of the year, these things aren't important. But last April, which is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, we sort of went out into and did outreaches in each of the 8 counties that we serve. And our rape crisis coordinator would sort of, we developed this little tag team sort of thing when she was making her presentation to, this is doctors, nurses, hospital administrators, state's attorneys, police officers, school counselors. So a whole wide array of people who encounter folks on a regular basis who may need our services, and the majority of those people are mandated reporters, so if they suspect or think that something is going on, they have to report. And Teresa would sort of lead into introducing me by saying all of our services are confidential and free of charge, and I, of course, would pick up the mantle and say, our services are free of charge. They're free, but they're not cheap. They're not inexpensive to provide. And we do have the majority of our funding through state and federal sources. That said, we all know what happened to our state funding 2 years or a year and a half ago when we didn't have a budget for 2 years. Our largest federal grants are actually administered through the Department of Justice, which as of last Thursday hadn't been funded, and 3 weeks from, or 2 weeks and 4 days from now, may not be funded again. So when we have local fundraising efforts, those are the most important to us because we can use the money how best we see fit. Not surprisingly, grants come with things that we need to do. They're all good things, and for the most part, they pay for the salaries of the people providing direct services, but they don't pay for anyone in administration. They don't pay for me. They don't pay for other things that we need to keep the organization going. And right now, in addition to doing Taste of Chocolate, I'm starting or kicking off or re-kicking off a sort of a $300,000 capital campaign, which is outside of our normal funding sources, or in addition to local donations that we get. We need a new roof, new gutters, new carpeting. We found out last year that about 18 of our 24 heating and air conditioning units are more than 15 years old. Wow. So when survivors are trying to get away from a situation, the last thing that they need is to wake up on a January morning when it's cold, or to wake up in an August morning where the air conditioning has gone out.
Right. So these fundraisers like Taste of Chocolate have a huge impact on your organization and the scale of services that you can provide and resources to the community.
They do. We've been fortunate. Last year we topped $40,000 for the first time, and Of course, no good deed goes unpunished, so our board expects us to raise more than $40,000 this year, which I'd be disappointed if we didn't. We have a great group of sponsors. Southern Illinois Healthcare is our title sponsor again, and have committed to do so for the next 5 years, and a lot of other sponsors, people who buy tables, and then people who come and are most generous in bidding on things that they may or may not need, but they bid on them nonetheless.
And I know we've talked a lot about the event coming up next Friday at the Carbondale Civic Center, but I think the most important question is how people can get a hold of these tickets. You talked about tables, groups of people coming in and buying those tables and those tickets.
Yeah, they're for sale at 2 locations in Carbondale, at the Women's Center, the admin office at 610 South Thompson Street, or at Furniture King, sort of on the east side of town. And they're also available on our website at the womensctr.org. Right at the top, you'll see a little cupcake logo. Just click through on that. You can use your credit card, PayPal, whatever you'd like. Print off your receipt and then bring that with you a week from Friday, and you'll get in and start eating chocolate.
And I know some people are kind of last-minute Larrys out there. Can people buy tickets at the door? Do they need to do that ahead of time?
They can. We'll have tickets available there. We like to have a better idea of how many people are coming, so if they can be last-minute by next Wednesday, that would be even better.
Right. And if someone isn't able to attend the event, but still would like to make a monetary donation to the Women's Center, how can they go about doing that?
The same website will allow you to do that. So if you go to the womensctr.org, there are a number of sections. If you're looking for services, whether domestic violence or sexual assault services, you can get information there. And then there's a donate section where you can sort of wade through there. It lists kind of physical items that we need on a regular basis right now, because it's cold and going to get colder in the next 48 hours or so. Winter wear, women's and kids' coats, scarves, mittens, but it also allows you to donate financially, and again, as I said earlier, that provides the most flexibility to the organization.
And I'm sure you always are in need of good volunteers as well.
We do. There's sort of the same place, the same website. You can get information on volunteering. We provide 40 hours of rape crisis training for all of our volunteers, or 40 hours of domestic violence training for all of our DV volunteers. That's required before they have any direct contact with people or man our hotline. If they want to help with events, I do not require 40 hours of any sort of training, just a willingness to pitch in. We also, right now, we're trying, as I said earlier, trying to diversify geographically our board of directors. So if someone is hearing this that knows someone in Franklin County or Union County, it would be great to get them on the board.
Great. Well, I know we covered a lot of good information, but once again, Taste of Chocolate coming up in just a week. So go out to the 2 locations John mentioned, which are Furniture King and the other location, Women's Center. And get your tickets. The more the merrier. All those proceeds go back to directly help the Women's Center and the services they provide, not only to Carbondale, but to surrounding communities. Thank you so much for coming in this morning, and best of luck with fundraising efforts. I know it is a great event.
Thanks, Amy.
And that is all the time we have for this morning. We hope you have a wonderful Monday, and we hope you'll listen next week on WDBX FM Carbondale.
Support for WDBX comes from Cristado's Cafe, Bakery, and Catering, serving breakfast and lunch all day. Cristado's offers fresh baked goods, including cookies, cakes, and pastries, as well as specialty coffee drinks. Catering available for any event. Cristado's Cafe, Bakery, and Catering, open Tuesday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturday 7:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. at 209 South Illinois Avenue in the Kaleidoscope Building. Information by phone at 529-4303 or on Facebook or Cristados.com.
It's Grandma's Jazz. Hi, I'm Gene Armstrong, inviting you to join me Saturday morning at 10 for a big band, swing, and a lot of great vocals. I'll provide the music that'll make your Saturday chores more pleasant. It's Grandma's Jazz, Saturday from 10 a.m. till noon on Community Radio for Southern Illinois, WDBX-FM 91.1, and streaming live at WDBX.org.
This government